Cowboys are blank if they become a heavy run-first offense. 877-881-1053. They've been running the ball a lot, Mike. And I know this is preseason, but Malik Davis, Rico Dowdle, Shamklin, here's the way that the numbers went in weeks 1 and 2. 22 carries, 16 carries, 15 carries. They've been running the ball a lot, and maybe they're just saying, hey, second half, let's run it and try and get this game over with, get the clock rolling, let's move on about our business. But Jerry Jones said it. Dak Prescott said it. They want to be, or Jerry Jones says, they want Zeke to be a feature on this offense. If he's healthy, he still has something, but he's not a home run hitter. He's not Christian McCaffrey. Don't put him in that category. I would put Tony Pollard closer to that category. But the Cowboys are blank if they become a heavy run-first offense. 877-881-1053. What do you think that this team is? Because for me, I think the Cowboys are scared if they become a heavy run-first offense. They're scared that they can't be a pass-first offense and take advantage of what the league gives them now. And that's plenty of leeway to play in the air.
When you say that, in the NFL now, I think a heavy run team runs the ball over 40% of the time, because 60-40 is still a heavy run team, and that would be running the ball 40% of the time. So when you say that, define what a heavy run team
Run
is.
First, run on first down.
The percentage,
you're going to be
like 50-50?
Yeah, around 50-50. Maybe I think the Cowboys would love for it to be, we got a lead, and now we can run the ball even more in the fourth quarter, which would be great, except for, man, if you have to be able to do that, right? Like, that's one of the reasons the Cowboys of old, in the Emmitt Smith era, were great, Mike, because whenever it was fourth quarter and they had a 7-point lead, they could run the ball for 80 yards and take 12 minutes off the clock. That was something they could do. Now, it seems like, fourth quarter, we're trying to run the ball. Man, that's a 3 and out, and we just turn the ball over, and the opponent has a chance to come down and score on us. And that's the difference, is you want that in the fourth quarter, but do you want to be like, all right, this is how we're starting all of our games. First down, they know we're going to run and not be successful at it. That's my big concern. Like the Browns are a 5 yards a carry team. That's what they do. They run the ball well with Nick Chubb and Kareem Hunt, whoever they have back there. But they know they're going to get big yards out of it. Not, hey, you know what? We might get a loss here and then a 3-yard gain here. That's not going to work for this team. 877-881-1053. And the texts are coming in from the 214, balanced if they are a heavy run first offense. So you think that then that they are not that they were too pass happy last year. The Dak stats got padded because they were passing the ball so much from the 214. Balance from the 806. Screwed. They don't. There are a lot of fans out there that are afraid of the Cowboys reverting to very predictable running early in the season, running early in the game, and you know what? First down was just a waste. You didn't even take advantage of first down because you just handed the ball off and everybody knew you were going to.
I'm looking at this. Last year, the Cowboys passed the ball 647 times and ran the ball 473 times.
Wow, so that is almost a 60-40 pass-happy offense right there, right? Like, that's the number you were kind of throwing out there.
I feel like 70-30 is pass-happy. I feel like, I don't know if – I'm going to click on Cleveland real quick, as maybe you can look at some other people to see, because Cleveland, to me, would be the most run-happy team last year because they had – their quarterback was hurt and also not playing well. So I'm clicking on the Cleveland Browns stats last year. They threw the ball 520 times and they ran the ball 485 times. So they still passed a little bit more.
That's almost a 50-50, like very close to a 50-50 split.
You'd say 52-48.
Yeah, in a game, I think you would probably say that they might even run the ball 50-50 sometimes and the other way around every once in a while. So that's interesting to see that.
So per teamrankings.com, we've got pass percentage. Leading the league was Tampa at 66%. Give or take.
Okay.
Dallas was at 11.
Okay.
59.6%. And the most run-happy team in the league where I guess you could say the least pass happy was Philadelphia with 50%.
Well, and they were
passing.
effective offensively because of what they wanted to do with their run game. They didn't trust their quarterback to go out there and win a game with his arm.
And further, like if we want to talk about the teams that are really down there, Tennessee was at 31. Obviously, we understand why that's the case because they have Derrick Henry. 30 was New Orleans. I imagine the injury at the quarterback position played a factor there. San Francisco was 29. We also understand how they like playing. So you can kind of see the reasons why some of these teams do not throw the football a lot.
Yeah, no, that's really interesting. And I don't know if you happen to see the piece on DallasCowboys.com by Patrick Walker, who was just on with Sean and RJ, but he was writing about Malik Davis, Mike, making a push to be on this roster. Malik Davis is considered, I guess, the fourth running back at this point because they know Rico Dowdle pretty well. He's getting a lion's share of the carries in the preseason, but Malik Davis is effective. Dowdle has 22 carries for 80 yards and a touchdown. Davis has 16 carries for 88 rushing yards and a touchdown as well. And then when it comes to targets in the passing game, Davis has got more. So if you're keeping a fourth running back, you got to have a couple of features here, Mike.
See you later, return man.
Oh, no, that doesn't necessarily.
That's why we're not keeping four running backs.
Here's what he has here. He's a really good special teams player. Malik Davis is as well. And if he's a good special teams player, that means you can go short on tight ends. Mike, you were bringing this up yesterday. Hey, I can start shaving down my tight ends group, and I'm already looking at Dalton Schultz saying, see you later.
Well,
in the future, I don't have to pay you like a Travis Kelce. I can pay this Ferguson guy. But he's saying, hey, keep Schultz, Ferguson, and McEwen, and you can say sayonara to a couple other guys, even though Hendershot has done pretty well here. So that's some options here because the guy is a really good special teams player as well as a running back that if you're going to feature a heavy run game, you're going to need some legs, man. So
I'll tell you this. I think there's 150 Malik Davises out there. He ain't worth keeping. Nothing against the dude. I get what he's doing in preseason football. Like I've told you, Corey, guess who else? Bo Scarborough or whoever it is. Like all these dudes who run the ball in these preseason games, especially second, third team. And I do get that they're running behind bad offensive lines too, but I can find Malik Davis. There's 150 Malik Davises out there. He's not worth keeping. And the other thing too is I'd tell you is go to people who have to do that like Brian Broaddus, 53, and you'll find when you start keeping Turpin and Malik Davis, you're like, oh crap, I can only keep 3 linebackers. Oh crap, I can only keep 4 defensive tackles. Oh crap, I can only keep 5 defensive ends. And then you're like, wait a second. Would I rather keep Chauncey Golston or would I rather keep Malik Davis? Mm-hmm. And then that's where people like Malik Davis, who did a good job so far. I know there's a Friday game, but that's where they can't make the team. There's just not enough room on this team for 4 running backs. Do the Cowboys want him to clear waivers and him to be on the practice squad? I bet they do. I bet that they would love for him to be there. So if there were injuries or an injury to Zeke or Tony Pollard, they would have Malik Davis to then bring up from the practice squad. And then you'd have, let's just say it's Zeke who got hurt. Then you have Tony Pollard and Rico Dowdle as your guys that are running the ball that week. And then Malik Davis gets activated from the practice squad or bought from the practice squad, however you want to say it. And then he is maybe on the active roster on game day. But I just don't see how in the world you start putting together 53 spots and go, okay, we're only going to go with 6 offensive linemen this year. I don't think that's going to be possible.
I agree with you, Mike. I don't think that all the offensive linemen that are currently on this team deserve to be on this team and whenever they make their decisions on offensive linemen, I think you're going to have an offensive lineman. You're just like, we have to have this guy on the team because what if? Like you have a lot of backup contingencies you have to deal with unless you're Will McClay and you're very confident that at any point you can just be like, I'll get a guy off the street and we're going to be just fine. But I'm not confident enough to believe that right now. Will McClay, maybe. I don't know. But I totally understand that, Mike. That maybe we need to do that. Maybe Friday that's a good topic for Friday. Let's go ahead and put our 53 out there because it might be practice where we're like, holy crap, we didn't realize how many good players we're going to actually have to let go of or how many crap players we are actually going to shave off of this team at this point. You say 150 Malik Davises. I think you probably didn't feel the same way about Dowdle, right? Like there's 150 Dowdles out there.
I actually do.
Pollard.
No, there's not.
Okay.
Pollard's going to get paid $8 to $10 million a year after this season is over. I'm guessing it could be a hair less. It could be way more than I think. I guess it matters how well
the season goes.
But
yeah.
no, there's
Pollard's
Tony
a special
Pollard and
kind of
Rico
player.
Dowdle. They don't compare. That's like saying Tom Glavine and Mike Bassick. Yeah, we're both left-handed and we both have the same repertoire. That's like saying, I'll give you this, Cole Reagans and Cole Hamels. Well, I mean, Cole Reagans has done his whole game off of Cole Hamels. So Cole Hamels' motion is his way. His pitch repertoire is that way. But you want to compare a borderline Hall of Famer, and I'm not saying Tony Pollard is, but you want to compare that to Cole Reagans because they both are left-handed and they both play the same position and they both have similar stuff. You're like, yeah, but it doesn't work the same way. Enrico Dowdle is, I guess, a decent or a good third-string running back.
Yeah.
It's not hard to find third-string running back.